You wake up every day thinking you have time, that there's always tomorrow, always next week, always another chance, but that belief, that lie is exactly what's keeping you stuck, because time isn't guaranteed. It's not something you get more of. You can't pause it. You can't save it up for later. Once it's gone, and yet you treat your time like it's infinite, like it's free, like it doesn't matter. You'll stress over how you're spending your money. You'll budget for a coffee, compare prices on shoes, hesitate on making a $30 purchase, but you won't even blink when you waste 3 hours binge, watching shows that add zero value to your life. You'll spend entire weekends doing nothing, just drifting, hoping the next week somehow feels better. Spoiler alert, it won't, because your time is bleeding out and you're not doing anything to stop it. Every successful person understands this one brutal truth. Time is the only thing you can't earn more of. You can lose money and make it back. You can rebuild your business. You can heal a broken relationship. But you cannot rewind the clock. The opportunity you missed yesterday, it's gone. The 2 hours you just spent scrolling social media, you don't get a refund on that. That was your life, and you gave it away like it was worthless. People waste time because they think small. They think they'll figure it out later. They tell themselves they're just relaxing or taking a break. But let me be clear, est is intentional. Mindless distraction is not. Most of you aren't resting. You're numbing. You're avoiding. You're procrastinating on the life you say you want. You say you're waiting for the right time, for things to line up, for inspiration to strike. But you're not waiting, you're wasting. You don't need more motivation. You need urgency. You need to look at your calendar and realize that every block of time is a piece of your life. Are you using it wisely, or are you giving it away to things that don't move you forward? You want better results, audit your time. You want to be more focused, protect your time. You want a better life, start treating every minute like it matters, because it does. Stop saying you don't have time. You do. You're just choosing to spend it on things that don't matter. That's a choice, and it's one you make every day. When you say yes to hours of distraction, you're saying no to your goals, no to your progress, no to your future self, and at some point, the cost of all that wasted time is going to hit you. You'll look up and realize you stayed the same while everyone else moved forward. People who respect their time get things done. They don't waste energy on excuses. They don't argue for their limitations. They execute. They focus. They move fast. They know every minute counts because their future is built minute by minute. While others are waiting for the perfect plan, they are taking imperfect action. While others are endlessly planning, they're showing up. While others are saying maybe one day, they're saying right now. You have the same 24 hours as every person you admire. The difference isn't time, it's what you're doing with it. So the question is, are you living with urgency or drifting through your days? Are you intentional with your hours, or are you letting them slip away? There's no secret formula, no hack, no shortcut. The people who are making it happen, who are building, creating, growing, they're not better than you. They're just ruthless with their time. They say no to distractions. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They know that life isn't a rehearsal. This is it. This is the only shot. So stop playing small. Stop wasting time waiting for clarity, confidence, or permission. Start now. Start messy. Start even if it's uncomfortable. Your time is running out whether you use it or not. Make sure it's being spent on something that matters. Because if you're not careful, you'll look back one day and realize you were so busy being busy, so stuck in routines that didn't serve you, so addicted to comfort that you missed your life. Don't let that be your story. Respect your time, guard it, use it to build something you're proud of. That's how you stop wasting your life, one focused, intentional minute at a time. Comfort is where dreams go to die. It's quiet, it's soft, it feels good in the moment, but it's also the place where growth stops. You think you're doing fine because nothing is falling apart, but that's the trap. Just because things aren't broken doesn't mean they're right. Comfort has a way of convincing you that good enough is the goal, that staying still is safe, that if you don't rock the boat, everything will be okay. But deep down, you know better. You know there's more in you. You know you're meant for something bigger, and yet you keep choosing what's familiar over what's necessary. You keep choosing routine over risk. That's not safety, that's stagnation. You're not stuck because of your circumstances. You're stuck because you've made comfort your priority. Progress doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It never has and it never will. You grow by doing the things that make you uncomfortable. You evolve by facing resistance, not avoiding it. Every skill you want to master, every goal you want to hit, every version of yourself you want to become requires discomfort. It requires effort. It requires you to stretch beyond what feels easy or normal. Look at your habits. Look at your daily choices. If you've been stuck in the same place for months or even years, ask yourself why. The answer is almost always the same. You stopped pushing. You stopped trying things that scare you. You started choosing comfort over challenge, and now you're paying the price. You're bored. You're unfulfilled. You're watching other people pass you by, wondering why you feel left behind. It's not luck. It's not timing, it's not talent, it's courage, the courage to be uncomfortable, the courage to make the hard call, have the tough conversation, show up when you're tired, try again after you've failed. The people you admire aren't superhuman. They've just gotten really good at doing the hard stuff even when they don't feel like it. If you want to grow, you have to give up your attachment to comfort. You have to be okay with not knowing all the answers. You have to be okay with looking foolish. You have to be okay with failing. That's the cost of progress, and most people aren't willing to pay it. That's why they stay average. That's why they keep repeating the same year over and over again, calling it a life. But you're not here for average. You're not reading this because you want to coast. You're reading this because something in you is ready to move. Ready to shift, ready to trade comfort for progress, and it starts with your decisions, not tomorrow, not next month, now. Stop protecting your comfort zone like it's your home. It's not. It's a trap. It whispers lies like you're fine where you are, or don't push too hard, or take it easy. And maybe that feels good short term, but long term it robs you, it steals your potential, it delays your growth. It keeps you small. You don't have to blow up your life to make progress. You just need to start choosing challenge on purpose. Start doing the thing you've been avoiding. Start saying yes to the hard workout, the early morning, the difficult conversation, the bold idea. Discomfort is not the enemy, it's the path, and the more you embrace it, the stronger you become. Comfort wants you to believe that growth should feel good. It doesn't. It's messy, it's awkward, it's full of failure and self-doubt and moments where you want to quit. But if you keep going, you build something real, you build grit, you build resilience, you build a life you're proud of. So stop chasing ease, start chasing impact. You already know where comfort leads: stagnation, regret, missed opportunities. That's not the story you want to write. The next chapter requires you to level up, and that won't happen by staying where it's safe. Discomfort is the price of admission to the next version of you. Pay it. Step into it, let it shape you, let it sharpen you, because on the other side of it, that's where progress lives, that's where your real life begins, and you owe it to yourself to stop settling for less. You were made for more, but it's only yours if you're willing to get uncomfortable enough to go get it. It's easy to blame. It's easy to point the finger, to say it's someone else's fault, to believe that your circumstances are out of your control. But that mindset is the fastest route to mediocrity. The second you give up ownership, you give up power. You hand over the keys to your future and you wait for someone else to drive, and let me tell you, no one is coming to save you. Taking extreme ownership means exactly what it sounds like. You own everything: your actions, your results, your failures, your habits, your attitude, your effort, even the things that seem outside your control. You own how you respond to them. Because when you do that, you put yourself back in the driver's seat. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Look at your life. Every result you have right now is a reflection of what you've tolerated, what you've allowed, and what you've chosen, consciously or not. If your health isn't where you want it to be, own it. If your finances are a mess, own it. If your relationships are broken, own it. That doesn't mean you beat yourself up or wallow in guilt. It means you stop blaming and start fixing. It means you say, "This is mine to handle," and then you go do the work. The truth is, most people don't want ownership. They want comfort. They want excuses. They want to be the victim of their story because then they don't have to do the hard work of changing. But if you're reading this, you're not most people. You're here because you want to grow. You want to lead. You want to become someone who actually takes responsibility and does something with it. Extreme ownership is not about being perfect. It's about being accountable. It's about knowing that success doesn't come from hoping or waiting. It comes from deciding. You decide that you are in charge of your life. You decide that you're not going to wait for better circumstances. You're going to create them. You decide that every setback is your responsibility to learn from, and every win is your responsibility to build on. People who take ownership don't waste time complaining. They don't talk about what they could have done or what should have happened. They focus on what they can do now. They take feedback without getting defensive. They take criticism and use it as fuel. They look in the mirror and say, "If I don't like where I am, I'll change it." No excuses, no shortcuts, no blame. You want to lead a team, lead yourself first. You want to be respected, take responsibility. You want success, take ownership. That's the foundation, because people who blame never win. People who whine never grow. The second you let yourself off the hook, you lose all your leverage, and the world doesn't reward excuses, it rewards results. Owning your life is not always fun. It's not glamorous. It means facing hard truths. It means doing things you don't feel like doing. It means accepting that sometimes you are the problem, but it also means you're the solution. It means you have the power to change. It means no one else controls your destiny but you. Every time you take ownership, you gain momentum. You start seeing results. You build trust with yourself. You become someone who follows through, who learns fast, who doesn't back down when things get hard. You become someone others look to, not because you have all the answers, but because you take action regardless. So if you want to stop feeling stuck, stop pointing outward, point inward, look at your habits. Look at how you spend your time. Look at how you handle pressure, how you react to failure, how you show up every day. That's your blueprint. That's what's shaping your results. You can change your life, but it starts with taking extreme ownership of the one you already have. Stop saying, "It's not my fault." Start saying, "It's my responsibility." Because that shift, that's where the power is. That's the moment you stop being passive and start being powerful. You either own your life or your life owns you. The choice is yours. Make it count. Most people don't get what they want out of life, not because they aren't capable, but because they never decide what that actually is. They drift, they guess, they stay vague. And then they wonder why they feel lost, stuck, or frustrated. You cannot hit a target you haven't defined. You can't build a life you're proud of without clarity. Getting clear on what you want isn't a luxury, it's a requirement. You say you want success. Okay, what does that look like? You say you want freedom. Great. Freedom from what and freedom to do what? You say you want more. More money, more time, more fulfillment. But more isn't a direction. It's noise, and noise keeps you overwhelmed. Noise keeps you from acting. If you want to stop wasting time, stop being vague. Start getting specific, because clarity is a superpower. It cuts through distraction. It gives you focus. It helps you say no to things that don't align, and yes to things that move you forward. You stop trying to please everyone, and you start building something that's actually yours. Clarity starts with brutal honesty, not with what sounds good, not with what looks impressive on social media. What do you actually want, not what your parents expect, not what your friends are doing? What do you want your life to feel like, look like, sound like? What kind of work lights you up? What kind of lifestyle energizes you? What matters to you more than anything else? You can't build an authentic life while living someone else's script. You have to own your desires, and yes, that takes courage, because the moment you declare what you want, the clock starts ticking. Now it's on you to make it happen, and that responsibility scares people. So they hide behind general goals, vague timelines, and endless planning. Clarity doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you're willing to figure it out. It means you draw a line in the sand and say, "This is where I'm going." Once that's in place, decisions get easier. You stop second guessing, you stop comparing, you get up every day with purpose. That energy, it compounds, it turns into results. Think of the most successful people you know. They're not running in circles. They're not jumping from idea to idea. They're dialed in. They know what they want and they protect it with their time, their energy, and their habits. That kind of focus is rare. That's why it's powerful. If you feel like you're grinding but not growing, this is probably the missing piece. You're busy but not aligned. You're working but not aiming. You're chasing productivity instead of direction. Productivity without clarity is just movement without meaning. You end the day exhausted but not fulfilled. So how do you get clear? You start by slowing down. You stop running long enough to ask real questions. What do I value? What am I good at? What do I want to be remembered for? What kind of impact do I want to make? Then you write it down. You create a picture of the life you want in detail. Not just "I want to be successful," but "I want to build a business that helps people and gives me control of my time." Not just "I want to make more money," but "I want to earn $200,000 a year doing work I love while having weekends off for my family." The more specific you get, the more power you have, because now you can reverse engineer it. Now you know which skills to build, which habits to create, which people to surround yourself with. You stop saying yes to everything. You start saying yes to what matters. You gain momentum, and momentum builds confidence. And yes, your vision will evolve. That's normal. But it's easier to pivot with purpose than to stand still in confusion. Clarity is not a one-time decision. It's a habit. It's something you revisit, refine, and recommit to regularly. But you can't refine what doesn't exist. You have to choose a direction. If you don't get clear, the world will decide for you. You'll end up chasing trends, living by default, settling for whatever comes your way. That's not a life. That's survival. You're capable of so much more. But it starts with knowing what more actually means to you. Choose it, own it, define it, then go build it like your life depends on it, because it does. Everyone has good intentions. Everyone wants to be better, do better, live better. But most people stay stuck because they never move past the idea. They talk about what they're going to do, they write goals, they make plans, they wait for the right time, but the right time doesn't exist. The only thing that separates the people who grow from the people who stay the same is action. Action beats intention. Every single time, you don't get results from thinking about change. You get results from doing something, from making the call, from starting the project, from showing up even when it's hard, even when you're not ready, even when you're scared. Intention might feel good in the moment. It gives you a little hit of motivation, but if you don't move, that feeling fades and you're left exactly where you started. Nothing changes until you act. The world rewards execution. Not ideas, not potential, not good plans, execution. That means you have to be willing to take messy, imperfect action. You have to stop overthinking and start doing. Perfection is the enemy of progress. If you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting forever. If you wait until you know exactly how it's going to play out, you'll miss the opportunity. The people who win are not the people who know the most. They're the ones who move the fastest. Every time you choose action over intention, you build momentum. You start proving to yourself that you're someone who follows through. You build trust with yourself. That trust is what leads to confidence. And confidence is what makes you unstoppable. You don't need to feel confident to take action. You take action to build confidence. Look at your life right now. Where are you stuck? Where have you been planning for months without moving? What goal have you been talking about but not working toward? That's your cue. That's where your growth lies, not in more thinking, not in more research, but in doing something today that moves you closer. Small actions matter. You don't have to change your entire life in one move. You just have to make progress. Progress compounds, it builds, but it starts with choosing to act, even when it's uncomfortable. Especially when it's uncomfortable. That's how you rewire your mindset. That's how you break patterns. That's how you stop being the person who almost did the thing and start becoming the person who actually did. Intentions are a trap when they aren't backed by action. They create the illusion of movement. You feel productive because you're thinking about your goals, journaling about your vision, mapping things out. But none of that creates change. Change only happens when you show up differently, when you do what you said you would do, even when no one's watching. There's no shortcut here. You want different results. You need different actions, not someday, not when it's convenient. Now, start with the first step, then take the next one. Stop worrying about step 10. You don't need to know the whole path to start walking. The clarity you're waiting for comes after the movement, not before. People get stuck because they wait for motivation, but motivation is fleeting. It's a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never be consistent. Discipline is what gets results. Discipline is doing the thing even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when the excitement is gone. That's where real progress happens. That's where results are built. You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You fall to the level of your habits, and habits are built through repeated action, not once, not for a week, over and over. You stack wins, you make progress. You fail and adjust. You learn as you go. That's the process. That's how you grow. So stop waiting. Stop telling yourself the story that you need more time, more clarity, more confidence. You don't. You need action. That's what moves the needle. That's what turns ideas into outcomes. That's what changes your life. It's not about having the perfect plan. It's about having the courage to start, because when you do, everything changes. You create evidence, you build identity, you go from I want to I'm doing it. In that shift, that's everything. Action wins every time. Choose it.